Hey, it's Ramsey Dewey over here in Shanghai, China with my lovely assistant Xiao, and today we're going to talk about collar ties. I was teaching a grappling class today. There were a lot of beginners grappling, and I noticed they did something that all beginners do. They grab collar ties. It's pretty natural to grab onto something. It feels like it gives you control. But the problem with that is, if you don't know what to do with it, it can be a liability. So let's go over some options of how to use a collar tie more effectively. So, when I lay hands on another person, my objective should be to move him. When I have a collar tie, I've got a frame with my forearm where I can push, or I can hold the back of the head here, right? I want to set him in motion. An option I really like with a collar tie is set up a single leg takedown. So I'll grab this, I'll push him. Immediately I'm moving him. I'm getting him on the defensive, getting him pushing back. Now I'm going to switch to a reverse collar tie. Now move down here to grab a single leg. Now let's break that down. So I've got a tie up. I've got a bicep tie up. That's my palm. I'm not thumb blocking, but my palm against the bicep. I'm reaching over for a collar tie. Now I push and I pull, right? Get a reaction from him. Now I switch. Notice I've got my head right here. Now I can scoop this up. Now I've got a nice entry for a single leg. Similarly to how I wouldn't just reach down and pick up his leg, because he won't let me do that in a fight. But let's imagine we're sparring for a minute and I reach down and I'm like, hey, give me that leg, right? Now let's just imagine for a minute I catch it and I just stand here. What do? He's gonna get right out. Why? Because he's balanced. That's why an impact step is so important in a takedown. When I go over here, look, now he's hopping on one leg. That's called an impact step, very similar with a collar tie. When I touch him, he's moving. Okay? Again, when I touch him, he's moving. Now I switch. Now I've got a nice entry for that single leg. Tie up, switch, frame. Now we have a nice single leg right there. What if the other guy grabs a collar tie on you? Okay, now he's got two. Let's deal with one for a minute. Let's say he's gonna grab, okay, he's got a collar tie here. So I made a whole video about this, a Russian 2-on-1. And there are a lot of great options here. We can drag him, okay? He grabs that, and I shuck it, throw him, hop, armbar him. What else? We can reach for that, work behind him. Right. Go ahead. Let's show them before we can. It's a fun one. Right? Reach for a collar tie. We've got a nice setup for an armbar there. Okay? With that aside, what else? Sometimes you grab a collar tie and the other guy will instinctively grab his own. What can we do with that? Armbar, that's a variation of a flying armbar I like. I'll break that down for you. Right? I'll take my foot, I'll turn it out, I'll put it in his hip, I'll press, I'll sit, and then rotate. Throw his legs up over here, and then come down. It's a much lower risk technique than a flying armbar. If you want to do a flying armbar, you can, but now I'm going to throw this up here. Right. We've got some collar ties. A lot of times you end up in this dirty boxing clinch right here. When I say dirty boxing clinch, I mean each one has a collar tie, each man has a free hand. Remember that fight with Don Fry?
The manliest fight ever.
The manliest fight ever in Pride. And they're both just punching each other in the face over and over. This goes on for like several minutes. Nothing but this. Oh, seriously, the manliest fight ever. But chances are, if you're watching this video, you're not that manly. Okay? Spare your face some damage. Somebody has one of these. How about a duck under? Right? And now we've got some great options there. So again, if we tie up in a dirty boxing clinch, instead of pulling down here, push up, duck under. And now I've got this great grip right here. Got to get nice and good for a single leg. Sorry, our canvas is ripping there. Let's do that one again. So again, we're in that dirty boxing clinch. I'm going to surprise him here. Maybe I'll pull down right here so he doesn't expect me to pop this up to get under there. Okay? Now, just so you can see what's happening on this side, I've got a tight grip with this hand here, so when I wrench down, I've got some control over the body there. Here, one more time, full speed. Dirty boxing clinch. Now we've got some cool options. Okay, if you were wondering about the Russian 2-on-1, if you didn't watch my other video and you're too lazy to watch it, I'm going to elevate and I'm going to turn. I'm going to grab this hand at the same time. So as soon as he reaches for this, before he gets it tight, we should be able to strip that grip. So he reaches, bump it off. You reach, bump it off. Reach, bump it off. So I'm making a cross section right here. I don't know if you can see this. So my forearm is right under his tricep. And I elevate, I turn my head, but I keep my eyes on him. I don't look away, but I turn my head, bump this shoulder up, and at the same time reach up and grab this. Right? Ideally, I can get this arm bar, but realistically, he's going to pull his arm in tight. He's like, give me this arm back. I don't want you to do that. So I'll tie a torsion knot, and I'll keep my head right here. It's very important to keep my head right here, because if not, he'll just turn into me, and he'll get out. Right? Okay? So he reaches, right, I strip it, I tie that torsion knot, I get my head in here. Now if he turns into me, look, there's a frame. He can't move through my head. So I can drive him down in one. Okay? What else can I do? Reach, right, strip, throw, up on top. Just keep a hold of that. Bit of an awkward scramble there. What else can we do with that? We can set up. Notice I'm behind him right here. Great entry for a back. So again, he grabs a collar tie. Slide by to take the back. One more time. Now we can lift him up, throw him, suplex him, high dive, etc. What else? Maybe he just pulls that arm right out. That's okay, I'm in on a single leg. So again, maybe he's really slippery, right? He reaches. I grab that single leg. In short, when you reach for a collar tie, make sure you have a plan. Make sure you're moving him, pushing and pulling. I'm going to show you another technique. You ever see the old people in the park doing Tai Chi, and they're doing this movement that looks like this, and sometimes afterwards they'll raise a leg like that, something like that, right? This is a technique from Tai Chi Chuan, also from wrestling, right? So I push and I pull, front snap, right? I reach, I push, I give him some violent pressure so that he pushes back to balance, right? So I push and then I pull, because when he balances, he moves forward, so I snap him down, break his posture. Okay, why do I want to break his posture? If he's in this position, he's in a very weak position. So what happens next, right, come on over here. I push, I pull, and I sweep. So if you look at that form, there's a push, there's a pull, That foot comes up. What are they doing? We're just elevating the ankle. Because his posture's broken, he's bent over. We lift up that leg. Down he goes. Okay, let's do that again. Now that he's expecting it, I don't know if it'll work. But we push, we pull. Down he goes. Here's another technique you can set up off a snap down. So we have our guard up. I pummel to the inside. I push and I pull to snap him down. Push, pull, elevate. Notice I've got his feet up off the floor, so I can turn him there. I'm actually down on my knees. Usually, I wouldn't go down to my knees for a double leg, but since I'm elevating him off the floor for this one is an exception to that rule. Here, one more time from this side. So I'm snapping him down over my shoulder. I push, I pull, snap, rotate. There we go. Anytime you reach for a collar tie, make sure you have a plan. Make sure that plan is to move him or to move around him. Right? If he reaches for a collar tie, have a plan to clear that. Have a plan to utilize that. Okay? Thanks for watching. Get out there and train.